We're back from break. Welcome back to the sixth episode of Hockey Actually, everyone. I'm Izzy. This is Nicolleta. It's
We're
just
so
us
excited.
today, but we've got a lot to recap. Canucks Training Camp opens, I want to say
Pretty sure tomorrow.
today is the day that it opens when we post this video.
Oh, yeah.
Planning on posting it Thursday. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
Get that.
So it
But
would.
Canucks training camp is opening up. We've just recently concluded the 2025 prospect showcase. Preseason is coming up, and within a matter of weeks, the NHL season will be back on. So, what better way to reintroduce things after our respective vacations than to talk about some prospects?
Yeah.
So last weekend, the 13th to the 14th of September, was the 2025 Prospect Showcase, in which Vancouver and Seattle both put their prospects together and had a little fun
Little
weekend
mashup.
series of games. Both teams won a game. Seattle won the first one after coming back, taking the
3-0.
win 5-3. Did you watch that game?
I didn't I watched highlights, but like they the Canucks blew a 3-0 lead. Like that was pretty disappointing.
But it's okay because the next game they managed to keep themselves in it and win by a very close score of 3-2.
Yeah,
Um,
which is good. I'm
so
glad that at least we won one each, you know?
yes, instead of getting like completely swept like the whole
Yeah.
way. Um, but with that being said, had all the prospects on show. A lot of good performances, some cause for concern with injuries, but other than that, looks like things were pretty solid. Let's take a look at some standouts from the weekend that we just saw.
For
Um,
sure. Do you want to start with one of your standouts and then we can go back and forth or?
yeah, I can start. I don't think you can say standout for Prospect Showcase and not mention Riley Patterson, who stepped up big when the team needed him most. After game one, Braden Coots fell with injury. He was out for game two, and because of that, we had a whole slide up at the center depth for the Canucks prospects, which meant that Patterson came in to play with Jonathan Lekkerimäki and Vilmer Ulriksson. And he took the opportunity and he really ran with it. He finished the showcase with a goal and two assists. 2 point game the night that he played on the top line. A lot of good things being said about him by head coach Manny Malhotra, who we will also talk about later. But pretty much to direct quote, Malhotra said about Patterson, he did a really great job with those two. Looking at some of the details in his game is really what we were evaluating over the last couple of days. He did a much better job this evening of being physical, making sure he was in the right spot at the right time. He was a little more tenacious on pucks, and from there, he was able to make some good plays between Lecky and Ricky, so Lekkerimäki and Ulriksson, and then obviously capitalizing on his opportunity down the pipe. I think we need to keep in mind about Patterson as well is he is still only 19. He's only
Yeah.
like a year removed from his draft year, um,
Yeah.
and he's been one of the more solid Canucks prospects throughout since being drafted. He was traded this offseason to the Niagara Ice Dogs after spending the past two seasons with the Barrie Colts. So, with this kind of new opportunity, I guess, who knows what we'll see from him this season, especially with such a great showing at the Prospect Showcase. Um, yeah, I don't know. Patterson for me was the number one standout, but I know that there are many others who we could also talk about as well. So I'll pass it over to you for that.
Yeah, I thought that Aku Koskenvuo, I hope I pronounced that right, did a like he was a really good strong first impression. He was drafted in 2021, I think the fifth round, but it was his first time in a Canucks jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. He had 21 saves on 23 shots, which was pretty good. He had some key saves in the second period where he stopped like a clear breakaway right in front of the net, like
Mhm.
after a defensive breakdown, which I think is really hard to keep poised in that circumstance.
Mhm.
So I was really impressed by that. And then there was in the third period, like a pretty crucial 6-on-4 penalty kill, which he denied Jaeger Furcus. I love that name. In a dangerous sequence. And I thought that that was like he was just able to rebound control really well. He was very poised and his positioning was like immaculate. Like as we said, Manny Malhotra, he had some praise for him. He was like huge stops, looked more comfortable, fantastic job, and like it's an encouraging sign for his like development and potential for maybe an Abbotsford future. Who's to say? But I think he did really well, and I think it was a good first impression. And hopefully, going forward, he can be seen in the Abbey lineup.
Especially with it being his first game as a Canuck, like technically his first ever game. And the fact that right now Abbotsford with both Nikita Tolopilo and Ty Young kind of slotting into the tandem, like could Koskenvuo give them that kind of competition to maybe send one of them? I mean, who
Right.
knows? But
Yeah.
like
Maybe in the future.
exactly, but that
Oh,
internal competition, especially if he's so hot at this point in the season right now, heading into training camp, like at the end of the day, who knows what the rosters are going to look like for both teams? But internal competition is good sometimes, right?
it is good. And it's motivating to see that we're staying consistent with the goalie, like the good goalies, you know?
A good goaltending.
Yeah.
Woohoo! We love it,
Vancouver and its goaltending, not to disappoint.
right? And I feel like now that we've mentioned Koskenvuo, you can't really go without speaking about Aleksei Medvedev, who played in game one of the prospect showcase. The numbers in terms of the final score don't look great. They don't really favor him in terms of how he played. But if you really look at his performance, uh, third period aside, he was one of the better players in that Canucks lineup during that game, if not like one of the best. Um,
It just cracked under
yeah,
pressure.
exactly. Like you could see, especially with him being so young, like I think I want to say he is either still 17 or he just turned 18. I would have to check that.
He's
But
18.
okay, he's 18 now.
Yeah.
But
Like just turned 18,
just
September
turned.
10th.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So like literally just
Literally just, yeah.
like as like such a young player, like all the other players in this showcase are probably around his age, but like not like that
Not like,
freshly
yeah.
18, right? Like for you to come in there at such a young age and still be able to perform really well within the first two periods, like that's still a feat on its own, right? Um, and we know he's not gonna make Vancouver Abbotsford this season. He's heading back to the London Knights for his second season. But there's still like he has a year of experience in the OHL and he can build on that. Last year he put up like a 2.79 goals against average, a 0.912 save percentage. Um,
Which is
Now that
good.
he has that experience in his first year, and he's kind of experienced some things with like the Canucks development camp, with the prospect showcase. It'll be interesting to see what he can sort of provide now in his second year, having already proven quite a bit as a first year.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential, and I'm honestly glad that he's not going like straight into it. He's gonna take it, he's gonna let it cook,
Cook, let him
stay in the
marinate.
oven. Yeah, marinate. Exactly.
And honestly, there's no rush at all for him either. Like you look at, I mean, we were just
Just turned
talking about
18.
goaltending. Yeah, right? Like I could get it if the Canucks were a team who needed a good goaltender badly, but
We
you
don't,
are like with this team, you're set for
at least the next 5 years. Like
yeah, at least, right? Like I mean, Lankinen's contract is
Demko's
Lankinen's
is three
contract is
years.
like five.
Yeah,
Is it
Lankinen's longer.
yeah, five.
Five,
Demko's
and Demko's is
technically
three.
three, but this year counts towards his old one. So
Oh,
you're pretty like you're set for a long time, which gives Medvedev a lot of time to grow. And then never mind that, you also have Tolopilo and Young. So it's like there's no rush at all for him. The potential is there. Just, give him that time to cook.
yeah, let him cook. Let him cook. Do you want to go? Because I kind of have an interesting, like the invite line, I thought did really well. Do
You
you know what
speak
I'm
on
talking
them. You
about?
talk about them. You go for it.
Yeah. Oh God, I am so bad with names. Obobaifo, Oreskovic, and Poisson.
Awesome.
They are not under NHL contracts, but they all made like strong cases together. They were like super high in energy, consistent puck battles, offensive pressure, and their like chemistry led to like multiple scoring sequences. Obobaifo especially had like impressive speed and was patient when he was finishing his like on his goal. And then Oreskovic and Poisson both had 2 assists, which I think like for an invite line, that's pretty that's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, um,
I would argue at some points in the second game that invite line may have been one of, if not the top line for the Canucks while on the ice. Like just the way they grinded things out, the way they played, like applying that forecheck. And keep in mind, two members of these line, like this line, are like also 18, right? Like,
yeah. Well, they're both Giants prospects,
yeah.
Obobaifo and Oreskovic. So I
Mhm.
think like them already kind of being familiar with one another, and then you add in Poisson, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm in. Like, let's go." You know, I thought they really did like they impressed despite being undrafted. So I have nothing bad to say about them. Nothing.
No, no, I agree. And like it'll be interesting because I don't know what the training camp rosters are going to look like yet. I believe those will probably be released unless they've been released since we've been talking, but like
We
by the
can keep
time
talking
this
about
comes out, they will probably be out.
yeah.
But speaking in the past, as of Wednesday, September, what's the date? Like 17th. As of Wednesday, the rosters are not yet out, but with the case that they made during the prospect showcase, could they earn themselves a look at training camp? Who knows?
I think we have an idea of some of the people that are going to be there,
Oh yeah.
obviously, but not everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you'll get your stars, you'll get your prospects, you'll get the invites and stuff.
Do we want to talk about Willander's performance at all, or do we just kind of want to leave it at it wasn't fantastic, it wasn't bad, it just, you know,
Um,
overall he could have been better, but needs some refinement.
I mean, like, I see the potential, of course, right? Like you see the skating that comes as advertised, you see like how he plays, but I feel like it's a long shot for him to make the team out of training camp as it stands, just because you've got so many players that can come into that spot. And with such a young player like him, it'd be best to just let him spend that full season in Abbotsford, maybe come up for a game or two towards the end of the season, but like let him spend that time there, marinate and cook, like you've said about Medvedev, and just like gain his footing, develop properly, and then bring him up when the team needs him, right? Like he was good, um, of course, as advertised, but there were a lot of standouts during this showcase, and like
There were just people who outperformed him
in some ways,
in some ways. Yeah.
maybe in terms of like taking the opportunity that they were given.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Go back to the preseason, the training camp. I'm
on
so
that
excited. That's
on
gonna be
that note though, about like the defenseman making it out of training camp, that is a huge topic, of course, in news
always.
headlines right now. More specifically, the forwards and the defense. Goaltending, we know who the two goaltenders are. It's no argument. Um, but I was curious about who you think could make those open spots out of training camp right now. Just because, as it stands, like the players who are probably not locks, I want to say in the opening night roster, there are maybe three spots open on forward, with one being 13th, and then two open on defense. I'm curious as to who you think could take those spots, just based on right now.
As of right now, we said two spots forwards and then one spot defense, right? From my
Two dressing and playing during the opening game, and then one 13th forward, one seventh
yeah.
defenseman. Yeah.
Okay. So I actually have Aatu Räty and Carlson in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Patterson Jr.
Patterson Jr.
And then for extras, I've got Sasson, and I had Willander, but I don't know that is maybe maybe we can put Mancini up there, but yeah, I think I'm a little hesitant right now to choose. But yeah, that's who I have like in the lineup dressed. What about you?
I agree with Ratu. I feel like right now, like with all the like with how he played last season and just the hype coming into this season, like it's like the last center spot, whether that's third or fourth in the lineup, that's his spot to lose. As of right now, of course, there are people who are going to be gunning for it. Like I think Nils Åman could make a good case for that.
Yeah,
Sasson, of course. But I do think at the end of the day, it is going to go to Ratu. I did some.
You really think Blueger's locked in?
No. I think he is. It's just it'd be Patterson, Chytil, one of Blueger or Ratu in the bottom six. We just don't know where in the lineup, right? But what's it called? I did some stat crunching for Ratu just because I was curious. And of all natural centers who are still with the Canucks right now, this is how he placed in the following stats. He was first in faceoff win percentage with 57.36%, third in total faceoff wins with at least 800 minutes played. And the two who had played more than him, Blueger and Patterson, of course, they played like at like almost 1,000 minutes more than Ratu. Third in total minutes played by a center with 351 minutes. Second in hits made. This interested me. Blueger actually came first in this stat, which was surprising. But
what?
And he also had a relatively like even amount of zone time within each zone in terms of starts made, like face-off starts made. The most was of course offensive. Second was defensive, but I'd be interested to see now that it's Patterson, Chytil, Blueger, and you don't have Suter or like Miller or whoever. I'd be curious about whether or not he gets more maybe in the neutral zone, maybe in the defensive zone. I would guess maybe offensive zone, but who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have Ratu coming in as well. I also had Carlson, but I kind of was thinking about it a bit more last night, and I may actually switch my pick. I just feel like I'm a big fan of Carlson. I'm probably one of the bigger fans of Carlson. I kind of watched him throughout the season, got to check him out during the Calder Cup playoffs. And he's a great player. He's carved out a role for himself in the NHL as like a trying to get those net front tip goals. And we've seen that he can succeed at that. I'm just wondering if maybe the like Canucks organization themselves want to go a different route depending on how they want their bottom six to look. Just because right now, I think your top six for the Canucks is locked in.
Do we want to just briefly?
Yeah, let's quickly recap that. Obviously Patterson, Chytil centers. You've got DeBrusk, Besser, who we don't know what the lines are gonna look like, but just
in general, that's
yeah.
And
And
then
then
Kane and
you probably
Hoagie.
got Kane and then Garland, maybe
I have
Hoaglander.
Garland in the bottom six.
You think Garland in the bottom six?
I have Hoaglander above him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
spicy. Although
I know.
I could see that being the case throughout the season, like where they just
Yeah,
switched.
they switch.
Um, but I
I
feel like the two, like they play similar games where it's like it's interchangeable and it would work in both roles, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, yeah, you got Bluger, Sherwood, Drew O'Connor. I
Mhm.
feel like, of course, that depends on the lines, but if they do decide to go with more high energy, more depth, like defense kind of first mindset, which I know Adam Foote, being the defensive coach last year, might try to prioritize. They might want to go with someone who's a little more shut down in the bottom six. So for that reason, I was on Team Carlson, but now I'm starting to lean away from it.
Who would you put instead?
I had my eyes on MacKenzie MacEachern. Just I think as someone who has experience in the league, um, mainly like NHL, AHL flip flop, but I believe he's 31. He has played like in that depth role before. And I do think with a player like Carlson, who is part of their organization, has been for a while, and he's still relatively young, like you don't want to take those minutes away from him if he's not playing the way that the management wants to see him play. Like, I feel like, as is with most of the younger players, like your best bet is to give them a shot at top minutes in Abbotsford, prove themselves, and then come back up here. Um, Whereas like some other players, I think, are better suited to those depth roles. Like we saw that a lot with Phil DiGiuseppe.
Yeah.
And I think that may, because of that, maybe they lean more towards some of the players they signed in free agency, like MacEachern. Um, on that same kind of note, I could see Nils Åman coming into that role just because he is versatile. He's got that
It's the
kind of,
second time you've mentioned his name.
I
Yeah.
know. I like because I initially I was so set on it being Ratu and Carlson, and then someone brought up Amon to me, and I'll be honest, I completely forgot about him. But well, because he got injured like pretty like late into the season, and then he wasn't there for Calder Cup. So but like now that like the more that he comes up, the more it makes more sense to me, just because he has played a decent amount of NHL games. Um, and like, I mean, of course, that has decreased throughout the seasons, but I do think if management and coaching has trusted him in the past, they're likely to keep trusting him.
Mhm.
So he's been on my eye for that spot lately. MacEachern is kind of a interesting name that we could throw out there. I do think I could see another free agent signing Joe Labatt come in as maybe the 13th forward. Just because again, like same point as Amon, like he can play center, he can play wing. Like the versatility makes it a lot easier for Canucks management. Like if they say the Ratu experiment doesn't pan out, you can easily flip flop between like him or Amon or Labatt, like whoever.
Yeah.
So I feel like because of that, maybe they'll go with more like center wing players heading into like opening night, but
Time will tell.
time
We'll
will
see.
tell. But
Maybe let us know what your predictions are, guys.
yeah, leave us.
I'm actually curious to see what other people think.
No, same. I feel like it's either like consensus or it's like a far reaching,
Like,
right?
yeah,
But we
opposite
want to hear
ends.
it. Yeah, we want to hear it. Like, let us know. Tell us your thoughts, your predictions. We are very curious. Defenders, I feel like it's hard to count out Elias Pettersson just because that DPD. Let's specify that first. Um, just because like he had such a great season last year, especially as a rookie. That sixth spot is pretty much his. Of course, you can make the argument that someone else could come in and take that, but like realistically,
I think it's his for now.
yeah,
Like
he played
it's
like well
his
enough.
to lose, as we said. Like same
Yes,
with Ratu, like it's his to lose.
exactly. And I think someone who could provide like quite the competition for that coming up is Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Just because older player, not like old, he's only like 26. But
Yeah,
like older than DPD.
veteran.
DPD
Yeah.
is like 2021. But he's like POJ is 26. He has experience in the NHL. Like he's played with like he has history with Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin. He's played with big name players before. He spent a season with Chris Letang, and I think that year he had like 25 points or something like that. Um, but he's a former first round pick. He's mobile. Previously scouts have said like his one of his biggest assets is his hockey IQ, and that's always a strength.
Yeah.
I think he could provide some competition for that if he has a really good training camp. Who knows? Maybe he comes in for DPD.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe he's the extra.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking. But then I'm also wondering if they would want to maybe keep him as the sixth, and then if anything, send DPD down. I don't think that's going to be the case though.
I think if
Um,
they're going to send anyone down, controversial as it may be, it would be Forbort.
ooh,
Yeah. That's just a personal opinion,
care to
but
share?
I don't know. It's not that I dislike his game. I think he's solid, but I think that there is more potential with other prospects, if that makes sense. Like, I think he's shown everything that he's got, and it's good, but it's like that we're waiting for you to be great, you know?
I see what you mean. I
Yeah,
feel like and like honestly, like I've liked Forbert. I think he's very solid. He's very steady. Penalty killing,
completely agree. Yeah, yeah.
amazing. But I do see what you mean in the sense that if everyone plays really well, like and both POJ and DPD are like to the point where you can't send either of them down, or you have to play both of them, Forbert would be the guy to go just because this is completely off the ice speaking, but if you look at the contracts, every single other defenseman other than Forbert in that top six, not including DPD and POJ, is locked up to a long term, except for Hughes. But that's a later problem.
No, we don't. We're actually not going to address that.
We're not going to talk about that at all.
That is just good. Okay, bye.
Right? Nope. Like every other defenseman is locked up to a semi long term. Like they have more than a year. Forbert
Yeah.
is only a year contract.
Yeah.
Because of that, I see your point, and I feel like I agree, but I don't know if either of DPD or POJ is going to provide enough competition defensively speaking,
No, maybe
like
not off the
shutdown
bat,
speaking.
but
Yeah,
I
to
think
knock him out. But
maybe there's potential. Yeah.
yeah,
You
and I
want
mean,
to hear my predicted lineup for
let's
the,
hear.
the defenseman?
Yes.
Obviously, you've got H squared, Hughes Chronic.
Yeah.
They're like one of the best defenseman pairings like in the entire league. So in my mind, it didn't make any sense when they split them up before. It doesn't make any sense to split them up now, especially when you have Patterson and Myers together, who are like the two giants. And I just think like that matchup, I don't know why I get the feeling that they would be like really good chemistry wise. Like, I think that I think, did they play it all last year together? I think they did.
M. Patterson and Myers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
I want to say they were paired up for a decent chunk of from when M. Patterson came in.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that like that is a good pairing, and then you've got Patterson Jr. and Forbert, you know, like the rookie and the veteran.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's my predicted lineup. But
Yeah.
I can also see how maybe POJ would
Hmm.
knock EPD out.
What if we call it like throw something completely out there and we just separate Hughes and Hronik and put Hughes with POJ? Just I think they're both left shot, but we saw POJ have a lot of success with Chris Letang in Pittsburgh. And I'm not saying that honestly, personally, I feel like Hughes is better than Letang, but argument for another day.
Who says?
Um, but like, just like, I don't know, like if there's a moment in time when the offense begins to dry up on the Canucks blue line, could that be a pairing that we see in the future to generate that offense and to kind of add some increased mobility to that top line pairing? Who knows?
If it happens, it's got to happen within the year.
It's it's a very, very hot take, I feel like. But who knows? We'll drop it there.
It's there though.
See what people think. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it'll be interesting to see how training camp goes and how the whole battle of the defensemen come out. We'll see.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, that's for sure.
We had some more training camp news break. Not really, but over the past couple weeks, we did find out little ways away from Rogers Arena, head down over to the Pacific Coliseum, that PWHL training camps will open. Looks like they'll open on November 7th. And it looks like the start date of the season will be anywhere from November 21st to 23rd, around that week. That little bit of news is per Ian Kennedy of the Hockey News. Subtle name drop. But I kind of what do we think of the season starting in November?
I think it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would say most, like, I don't know a lot of things that start their seasons in November, late November.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's a bit abrupt because they only, like, as you said, or as Ian said, they're going to start on the 21st to the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
So that only really gives them like 2 weeks of games before the holidays. I don't really know if they get that many days off, but like, I don't know. What do you think? I think October would be the best time to start. Mid-October.
At the same time, I do think if they were to start in October, they'd be competing a lot with the NHL opening, and then not even with the same sport, but the NBA. NBA also starts in like October.
Yeah.
So part of me does see November as like it makes sense, but I'm also wondering if maybe they were to slide it even farther back. What if they started in January and ended towards midsummer? That way, like a lot of, I guess
the opportunity to just have the women's hockey at some point. Like,
that's true. But at the same time, I guess if that were the case, then their regular season might be competing with NHL playoffs at points in time. But I don't know. It's hard. It's hard trying to schedule it. And of course, there's always the case to be made that they could play in the summer, which would give them like no competition whatsoever. But also, I don't know, something about summer hockey just does not feel right to me. I don't know. Even if logistically it could work, like it's just, I don't know.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's a winter sport. It's a winter sport.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so November 7th, it looks like training camps will open 21st to 23rd. Season start date potentially. We know nothing else about the schedule. We have no other news about the name or the logo or anything, but we did have some speculation come up a couple weeks ago.
A little leak.
A potential leak. Is it a leak?
A leak.
Do we know if it's a leak? Where on NHL 26, when NHL 26 was released, the PWHL was on there, and both Vancouver and Seattle had jerseys. But are these the official jersey patterns? We don't know yet. I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I heard. I saw. I believe Daily Hive wrote about it, where they had reached out to a spokesperson for the PWHL and had noted that these were not the official jerseys. I guess they're a placeholder right now. But I do think the fact that we have seen these color schemes with these two teams a lot will mean that they will come into play at some point soon. If they're not the exact jerseys, maybe they'll look very, very similar.
Well, the merch has come out and the merch is in those colors.
Mhm.
So I think it's a very safe bet that at least the color scheme is going to stay the same.
Mhm.
Whether it's the same logo or not, I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll just be more meaningful to have like from the get-go, not just that like circle with the two hockey sticks, you know. I think someone design something would be more presentable.
I do wonder if I saw it brought up somewhere, I don't remember where, but we're waiting for all this hype about the name and the logo and stuff to come out before the season. But what if they take the option to delay it by a year and just go by PWHL Vancouver and PWHL Seattle for their first year, like they did with the PWHL, the other teams, and then they put the names on them the year after?
I mean, it's likely. I would be disappointed, but it's very likely because Utah did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I think they've had enough time to generate ideas. Like people are very upfront about what they want the names to be or what the like, and lots of people have come up with concepts. Like I was scrolling through Reddit.
It's okay. That's okay.
And I saw this concept art for a jersey of the Griffins. Like if we were called the Griffins. And it was phenomenal work. And I was like, you have all these people who are putting in time and effort, who are doing this for free because they want the name to be there. They want the team to have like a presence from the get-go, not just PWHL Vancouver, because how on earth are you supposed to chant that? That is very difficult to chant. So I think it would be a missed opportunity for them to not take advantage of the fact that like they could have a name in a jersey ready to go. But I do understand that maybe they need more time to like but I don't know. They seem to figure out things pretty quickly. So we'll see. What's your opinion?
I can see how it would be a benefit financially speaking if they went the year just with PWHL Vancouver, PWHL Seattle, because you sell all that merch, you sell all those jerseys, right, within that first year. It's kind of similar to the Utah brand, like you mentioned, where you have those initial jerseys, inaugural season, you hype up all that merch, you sell that, and then the year after you come in with the name and you just sell a whole bunch more after that. So in terms of finances, I could see how that would be a benefit. I do agree with you though. It would be hard to chant PWHL Vancouver. Like, how are you like? You could chant Vancouver, but
like yeah, but it's not the same. It's like you're cheering for the city, the stands. You're not cheering for the team.
And I feel like the minute you come up with a name, you have an identity, right? And of course, like this team has an identity right now, but things feel a little more like it fits a little more when you finally have that name, right? Like we saw that with the Mammoth, like Utah Mammoth. It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, this works. Or
people don't call it like the Utah Hockey Club anymore. Like, that's just not a thing.
And even with the other PWHL teams, like back when it was PWHL Minnesota, PWHL Montreal, it was there, but it wasn't special, right? And now that you've got the Frost, the Victoire, like it's different.
It's just cooler. It's cooler. I'm sorry. I hate to be that person, but it is much cooler when a team has a name and like as you said, an identity. So shame if they don't understand, if they, you know, if
don't.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, I get it. I do wonder, like, because Vancouver and Seattle are so close in proximity to one another and they're known for very similar things, I wonder if the names are going to be similar.
I think there'll probably be similar themes,
Hmm.
like of nature-esque.
Yeah.
That's my hypothesis.
I could see Vancouver going more weather route and Seattle going more
Bird.
land
Wow.
earth route. Yeah. Which would be neat actually. Like if you look at like I'm
West
sure
Coast
like
represent, you know?
yeah, right?
We've got the land, we've got the ocean, we've got
The mountains,
yeah,
the
mountains.
rain. Although it is really nice out today, so
Yeah, not complaining.
yeah,
Thanks,
exactly.
Vancouver.
Right. But yeah, let
What?
us know your thoughts, you guys. Like talk to us about PWHL Vancouver. I know we're still a couple
Yeah,
months
a couple
out
minutes.
from the season, but the hype is real. The hype is building.
There, it's getting exciting. I think people
Hey.
are super enthusiastic about the upcoming season, and I know that at least in Vancouver, it's of talks.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely there. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
with the Vancouver Canucks starting up, that's kind of washed over right now. But
Mm-hmm.
I think once they get into the season, it'll be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
what are your predictions for the first line? I was curious.
See, I have like a basic cookie cutter answer that I could go with that I've seen circulated.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, of course, you have Sarah Nurse as your first line center.
Yeah,
That's like
that's a given.
a given. Exactly. I know a lot of people put Nicolleta beside her.
Yeah, I did
And I
as
would
well.
be interested to see what Jen Gardner looks like on the other side, just because she's had success with like a big like punchline like with
Yeah,
Marie Philippe Poulin and Laura Stacy. So I do see that being that first line.
that's exactly what I put.
Yeah. But I do kind of I wonder like if we're to go outside of the box, is there anyone else that we could potentially put up there in that first line? I feel like that is gonna be the main answer, and I feel like that is what we will see once
Yeah.
training camp and like opening night come. But
I'm
like,
curious to see if they put maybe Izzy Daniel up there.
hmm,
You know, she's young, she's got high upside, she's got good breakout potential. Like, I think she could make a good case for it. I mean, I currently have her in the second line,
mhm,
which in my opinion makes more sense. But if you were to like throw out another
yeah.
name for top line, like I don't see why not.
Yeah, that's true. And I talked to her a couple months ago about, coming into her second season and how she was not as happy with her rookie season as she may have been, but now with a fresh start,
A
with
new team,
this
new, yeah,
whole new crop of players. I mean, some of them are familiar. Like, I mean, she played with Nurse in Toronto.
yeah.
Um, I kind of wonder if I do agree with you. I see her on the second line, but if there is a point in time where they want to mix things up and want to see how chemistry develops with others, could we see her on that top line alongside Sarah Nurse and maybe, who knows, like Jen Gardner on the other side? It
Yeah.
is an interesting question to kind of think about.
Yeah. And who do you have for the defensive pairings? Do
This
you
is
know?
I
Yeah.
see, I feel like it's the same as the first line where a lot of things are like you have like
Claire Thompson
people.
and Sophie Jacks.
I was gonna actually say Claire Thompson and Ashton Bell.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I have
Yeah.
Ashton with Melissa Chanel Watkins.
Interesting. Like
Mm.
I think it depends. Like the their defense is so strong and so like mobile that I think
It doesn't
realistically,
really matter.
yeah, like you can go like you have your obvious top like four, for example, or like top two,
Yeah.
but like the it's so strong and so structurally sound that
I think wherever you put them, they'll play well.
yeah, like you could put Bell with Claire Thompson, you could put Claire Thompson with Sophie Jakes. Like it's a toss up, but it's a good toss up. It's a good pump
Yeah.
to have.
And then I think Emirates is going to start. I think she's going to be the starting goalie.
Hmm.
I know it'd be super interesting if Kristen did,
Mhm.
but I think that they're gonna give it to Emirates. But what's your opinion?
This one is a bit trickier for me, just because I think both of them have I think there are two different storylines going on here with both of them. With Mashmeyer, you have a proven, more veteran player who can come in and who can play solidly, even steal a game or two. With Campbell, I know a lot of people were disappointed with how she played in the playoffs, but having spoken to her a couple of times, reading that energy, I think this is very much a fresh start, a clean slate for her. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Mashmeyer starts the first few games, or like maybe they do 1A, 1B thing, but I could see Campbell really coming in and like taking things away just like that.
Ooh, okay.
But
We'll
maybe
see.
that's a hot take. I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like
We'll see. Time will tell. Time will
right,
tell.
right.
But
Full of hot takes today, I
yeah,
guess.
a lot of hot takes. That should be the episode. Actually, hot takes, actually.
Hot takes, actually. Yeah. We got to drop some more hot takes though. I feel like I don't know. So
Hot
some of these are
take.
kind of mild. They're
Hot take.
lukewarm.
They're gonna move someone who is unexpected to, I don't know.
I had someone in mind, but I don't want to say it out of the sheer fact that I don't want to jinx it. So
Okay, then we don't say. We don't say. I think I know what you're thinking of.
probably.
Mine is like a super like it would be a super hot take. I don't want it to happen, but there's always that possibility. But yeah.
Let's stick with hot takes that do not involve roster movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that.
Super hot take.
Super hot take. What's
Super
another?
hot.
Do we want to do hot take for either team or
You know what? Let's do one for each of the teams we've been covering. One for Canucks, one for Abby, one for PWHL Van.
Mhm.
Let's just have fun with it.
Okay. Hot take. I think I think a defenseman is going to score the first goal
For
for the PWHL.
I could see that actually. I could see that.
And that is my hot take. I don't know who, but that's my hot take.
Okay. Hot take for PWHL Van. Hot take. Not involving roster movement. Jen Gardner leads the team in scoring.
Ooh,
I don't know if that's a hot take or
it's
not,
it's
but like
it's warm.
it's
Warm.
pretty, it's getting warm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Hot take for Vancouver. I think O'Connor is gonna have an amazing season.
I could see that.
I think he's gonna move up
Mhm.
for sure.
Like that prototype of player recently has had like has
Very good success.
had career seasons recently. Like we saw that with Joshua, saw that with Sherwood. I could see that actually. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, hot take for the Canucks. Hot take for the Canucks is that Thatcher Demko is a Vezina finalist again. I don't know if that's hot or not, but
I'd say it's hot.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty hot.
The water is boiling. That's how hot.
Yeah, no. You want to know my boiling hot take?
Hmm?
Hugh's gonna get traded before. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you were thinking.
That's a super hot take, but no one wants that.
Of course, nobody wants that. I'm pretty like I am 95% sure if that were to happen,
Vancouver would fall.
this would be a completely different team
Yeah.
in the next like 3 years. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
scratch.
But that's a hypothetical, and that's
No,
not
that's what I'm saying. It's an extraordinarily hot take.
exactly.
It's very unlikely because he basically runs the Canucks.
Yeah.
But it is a hot take.
Yeah, I like mine a little better.
We're gonna stick with yours.
Yep. Yep. Do we have any Abbotsford hot takes?
We think maybe hot take both Willander and is Coots allowed to, is he gonna play?
Coots would probably continue with the WHL this season.
Oh, there's my hot take. Maybe he's gonna come up to Abbotsford.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point. That's my hot take.
I think my hot take for Abbotsford is Max Sasson is going to have a 70-point season.
That's a hot take. Okay.
It is a hot take.
I like it though. We're confident.
I have that feeling. I don't know. It's his year, right? Like,
yeah, his year to lose.
Right.
So, yeah. Alrighty. Shall we wrap things up?
I think so. One more thing I think we wanted to talk about before we finish up is contract extension, Manny Malhotra. I don't think there is a member of the Canucks fan base that is not happy about this move. To clarify for everyone, Malhotra was on a 2-year deal initially, which would have expired by the end of this year, but the Canucks club opted to extend him, take his option year, which would mean that his contract expires at the end of the 2026-27 season. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Like
they would be dumb not to.
Exactly, right? Like
he's the coach who led you to the Calder Cup. There's
your first Calder Cup
in franchise Calder history. Cup. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I think it's the furthest that they'd ever gone, like, period.
Yeah. Mind you, they've only been a franchise for like what, 4 or 5 years. So but the point still stands.
Yes.
I think another thing that comes into play here is the way that he coaches. Like, he's one of those coaches where, like, and I feel like you don't see this as often, but he is willing to trust young players with big roles, and
which I admire.
Yeah, and it's not something you see very often, but he puts that trust in players in a way because everybody plays the same way. Everybody's doing the things they need to do to block shots, forecheck, be the first one into the corners, to win a battle for the puck. Like, all those things are preached at the start of the season by him, and all the players want to do it. They want to play for him, right? I
think that's the biggest thing. They want to play for him.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy's entrusting me. I want to perform.
Yeah.
I hope that Foot has that same, I hope that Foot has that same impact going into this season.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But I'm very happy about it.
Exactly. and something that helps with Malhotra is, like, I mean, he's so familiar with the organization too, right? Like, he was a player. He was around during that 2011 Stanley Cup run, that shall not be named, even though I just named it. And he was an assistant coach with Vancouver at one point. Like, I think the Canucks really need to work to keep him in the organization long term. And if they don't, it may be one of the bigger mistakes they make in franchise history.
Anything else you want to add, or?
I don't think so. Next time we will talk will be after training camp is over. So we'll give you guys a little update on how that went, some other things. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, send us a message, leave us a comment.
Let us know. We're happy to engage, to talk to you guys. We're here for you. So let us know. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next episode.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.
Bye.